All right, so today we're going to be, first thing we're going to review yesterday's oral activity, and we're going to see, we're going to continue with that, so see how we can retell stories, maybe more presentations. Okay, we need to do that.
Oh yeah, tomorrow's presentation.
So we're gonna see how to do an.
Okay.
Okay, so did you have a chance to see the comments I made on your your activity?
And no.
Okay, no worries. We can go through them now.
Okay.
Okay, wasn't. Oh, that's weird. I didn't have comments. You didn't get my comments. Oh my gosh. Okay, I added some comments, I swear, and didn't get them. Okay, I'm probably gonna do it again. Or was it this one? Okay. Oh my gosh. Right. Okay, yeah, maybe it didn't work. Didn't send. Okay, well, I'm gonna add some comments, okay, explaining the rubric and everything else. Now, the
Okay.
thing is, I evaluated basically following 4 types of criteria, and this is usually what happens in any test. In the total test is like this as well. So they look at things like, first thing, obviously, content. So not when retelling a story, because that's not what you're gonna have to do for the TOEFL, for example. But anyhow, in any speaking section, in any speaking test, first thing is content. Now, in this case, in the case of retelling something, you need to look at first thing, how relevant the information that you're providing is. So if you're summarizing, basically, so for example, in yesterday's story, you had a lot of details, like maybe, I don't know, like there were 2 kids next to me listening to loud music. Maybe I can say they were listening to the Smiths and this special song. And then the teacher approached me and said, hey, what are you doing? I told you not to listen. So all those details, when you're summarizing the story, you need to learn to prioritize what's more important than the other thing. So that is something that they consider. So how relevant the details that you're presenting are. Is the information that you're giving summarized? Is it all relevant to the story? Or maybe you're just focusing on the details and not telling the whole overall picture. That's something they want. And what else? And of course, if it's accurate, so accuracy. And that means how accurate it is what you're saying. So for example, if I say something, so it was, there was a kid next to me that was listening to the music, and you say something like the kid was, I don't know, at the bottom of the class, so in the front row maybe, or in the back row, it's not going to be accurate, right? Because the kid was next to me, not in the back row, not in the front row. So that's accuracy. So how truthful the information that you're giving is. If I say that it was a female teacher and then you say it was a male teacher, it's not accurate.
Okay.
The listening and comprehensional skills. So in this part, I said you had 25 out of 25 because everything was accurate. Maybe it wasn't that summarized as it could have been, but that's because I didn't something similar.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna
Sorry, what did you say?
ask you to
I couldn't
summarize,
hear you.
but it was okay, 25 out of 25. Sorry. Okay, so I said in terms of content, your response was 25 out of 25. It was perfect because it was relevant, it was summarized, and it was accurate. Okay. Maybe I said there are some things that we could have summarized more. So you talked for 1 minute and 45 seconds, I think. Maybe today we're gonna do it again and let's try to do it in just 1 minute. Okay. So we're gonna try to summarize a bit more, but that's okay because I didn't mention this yet.
Okay.
It's okay. Now then I also said, okay. The next criteria is of course grammar. So here you had, I think, 21 out of 25. And this is because of mostly the tenses. Okay. That's some part, I mean, that's the first thing that you struggle with. So let's listen to
because when you explain is if you want to talk in the present, you have to keep all the story in the present. And I was very confused when I retell the story because I think I mix. I don't know.
yeah, that's right, mixed. So there were some details. Maybe we can hear some examples. So
she was in history class and the teacher
told the students to write an essay about history. The teacher told them that if they want to relax, they can put
right?
some music.
Did you notice anything?
Yes, I repeat the sentence and I wait.
Well, that's fine. You know, it's okay to repeat, hesitate. That's okay. I mean, regarding grammar.
Okay.
Let's go through that again.
Okay. Told them to. The teacher told them that if they want to relax, they can put some music while they were writing the essay.
Notice anything?
If they want to relax, they can put wanted.
Exactly. So the teacher told them,
yes,
if they wanted to relax,
yes,
they could put music, right? Or play music. So there you have some. Let's listen for more.
And everyone in the class was agree about the decision.
But it's super common. You can see how common this is. So I see it every day. So what's agree? All right. How do you think it should be?
We're agree.
No.
No, was agreed.
No.
No, so everyone was agree.
Everyone agreed.
Ah.
The thing is the verb agree and disagree. It's just like any verb, like, think, take. So you don't need the verb be, you don't need any auxiliary. Okay. So you don't say I am agree or I am disagree. Okay.
Yes.
You just say I agree.
I agree.
and this is super common. I think it's because of the Spanish translation, right? You say, estoy de
Yo estoy de
acuerdo.
acuerdo. Mhm.
I've seen it, I cannot count how many times. Okay, but that doesn't matter that much. Let's go.
Agree about the decision about that the teacher told. That she said that the kids next to her put music in
No,
high volume,
I
and the teacher approached to her thinking that she was the one who has the volume and it was bothering the other
Did you
students.
notice anything?
She was the one has it was had.
Exactly. So yeah, she wasn't the one who had. Perfect. There you go. You're relaxing your own.
Her headphones and break it.
Okay.
Broke.
Okay. Exactly.
So yes. Then the teacher realized that the music was still then, and
If you were.
that she was the one break it. Then the teacher realized that the music was still then, and he felt sorry because she realized that she was not the one that had the music. So the next day, the teacher bought a new headphones for her and bring them to her. But he was feeling sorry and embarrassed about the action he made.
Okay. So anything else? Did you notice anything else?
I don't remember if I say. I mean, I was very confused about he, she, them.
Yeah, the pronouns. That's a good thing.
Yes.
And also, the teacher bought her headphones and brought to her, right? Brought in the past. So again, tenses.
Yes.
So these are really common mistakes, and everything it takes is practice and active practice. So that's why it's important to, I think it's a great idea to record yourself, listen to yourself, and then you realize what mistakes you're making so that you can later be more aware and be more careful with these specific things.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pronouns is a big thing. So for example, one thing I always say in the test, in the TOEFL test, you will listen to a professor, okay? And then you need to report on what the professor says. And so you need to say, the professor states, the professor believes, but you're not always going to say the professor. So you can say synonyms, you can say the lecturer, the speaker, the professor in one of those, but, or just the lecturer, but you're gonna have to use some pronouns. So many people get confused and they say he, she, and then kind of mix them up.
Mhm.
So when you're taking notes, try to write down the pronoun in big words. So first thing you hear, it's a female or male professor, so you write, you know that you need to say he. So that's something that could.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I think pronouns was, it was just once. Tenses, something that we need to be careful with. As I'm saying, you can also use just the simple present. You say, but it's a bit harder.
Yes, because I try my first try, my first record, and I didn't know how to use the present perfect. I mean, not the present perfect, but the present, simple present. I was very confused. So then I started using the simple past.
So yeah, I'm
How
gonna
can you do it, simple present, this story?
let's do it. I remember I once watched an interview and somebody was telling a story in just a simple present, but I didn't save it. I'm gonna look for it and I'm gonna show you later.
Okay.
But right now, so you could just use a simple present. You could say, all right, so she tells the story. I don't know.
She tells the story.
In this case, it's okay, right? Because she tells the story of, I don't know, she tells,
She being in class?
no, she is in class, just
Yes.
conjugated normally. Of
Okay.
when, at the beginning, you can use the past, when she was in high school, let's say. But this is just the context, right? When you're telling the story, you say, okay, so she's in class, she is writing, okay, that's just curious.
Teacher.
Yeah.
No, I don't know how to say the teacher. It's because in the past the teacher asked them
You could
to
say the
write it.
teacher asked them to write in a simple present.
Oh, okay.
She's writing history or an essay for his history class, and the teacher says she or they, I don't know, the students could listen to some music.
If they want to relax.
Yes. If they want to relax, as long as it's not loud and it doesn't interrupt, I don't know. Okay. And then you say, I don't know, then, I don't know, she, the kids sitting next to her start playing some very loud music. And the teacher, I don't know, it's mad. He approaches her, and I don't know, thinking it was her with the loud music, or thinking it's her with the loud music, right? Music, and I don't know, and tells her to blah, blah, blah. So you just continue the story. So the teacher approaches her thinking it's her with the loud music, even though it isn't, and breaks the head, breaks the headphones.
Her headphones.
It isn't her, it is the other kids, and I don't know, continue. And he feels sorry, he feels embarrassed. The next morning, he buys her headphones. So yeah.
Yeah, you can retell the story in simple present. Now I know. Andrea? Andrea?
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry.
No.
So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you could also do this. obviously the first one is more common. You know, the difference would be that this usually, first thing, to be honest, is more used when you're just telling a personal story with I. So I'm in class, I'm writing an essay, my teacher is there. I don't know, he asks us to write an essay on this, and then he says that we could, I don't know, do this. So usually when you're telling personal stories, it helps the listener kind of get there, you know, it's kind of more connected to the story. So it's like you're trying the listener to imagine what's happening, right? It's like I can say also this. So you are in class, you're writing an essay, and I'm trying to make you picture everything that I'm telling.
Yes.
I think it has that effect, right? You're picturing everything as it goes. Whereas when you tell it in the simple past or in the past tense, it's more disconnected. So yeah.
So here you listen to the lecture, and do you have time, or when it finish, you start retelling the story?
You do have time. You listen to the lecture or because it's a lecture, a conversation, and then you get 30 seconds to prepare, and then you start speaking for 1 minute. And the lecture lasts like 2 or 3 minutes, and you need to summarize that in one. That's why it's important to classify the info. So, yeah. So grammar was good. The only thing, maybe tenses, that's the only thing. Then another thing they look at is, of course, pronunciation, which isn't exactly pronunciation, to be honest. I mean, it's okay to have an accent. Actually, you don't. Like, being completely honest, I think you really have good pronunciation. It's almost unnoticeable, you know, the accent, which is gonna help you a lot. So you already have that. And so you got 25 out of 25. They don't really care that much about the accent. They care about making it understandable. So this is called intent. Okay. Okay, so how intangible it is, it means how understandable it is. And they also look at the listener effort, which is whether you need to put an effort to understand the person. Because there are some people that are, I don't know, that's speaking a way that it's not so clear for the listener. So they don't articulate the words that much. They don't stress the words, or they don't, they don't put enough stress in some words, or maybe they don't pronounce it in the right way, and it may be confusing, right? Because of, I don't know, instead of saying pronunciation, if I say pronunciation,
Okay.
maybe. So nothing there. Then you also have what's the last one? Content organization. So this was pretty cool as well. Usually organization is, if you're telling a story, it needs to obviously be in the same order as the story has been told, in chronological order. So you need to respect the sequence of events. It needs to make sense. It needs to sort of have a structure. So it kind of has to have a conclude body and what's this conclusion. So that's why at the beginning you can provide a context, right? You can say, so I don't know, the story was about this, or the audio file was about this story. So that's like your intro. And then the body will be just the story. And the conclusion is, I don't know, if you could have it or you could not if you want, but it's like a summary. So you could say, so that's how the story went.
How can you do an introduction and then start with the body part in this part? I mean, the lecture was about a teacher and students in a history class, and how do you start the body part?
Like when you retell the story,
Yeah.
how can you start?
Okay, nice. So, okay, so you know, this is, in this case, it was just a story. So it's less formal than it's going to be in TOEFL, for example. There you go, you have a very structured intro. But here you can just basically give the setting of the story. Or if it's an audio file that you're reporting, you know, kind of the main idea of the audio file or summarize. So you could say, for example, so the story, and that's what we had at the beginning, right? So Andrea, or the story is about, or Andrea tells the story of, right?
The stories
Of her childhood, or the story is about how this happened. So how a teacher got confused and how she lost, or how her headphones were broken down by a teacher. So you kind of have this sort of setting, or this story takes place here, I don't know. And just one sentence. So Andrea tells the story of how once she had a confusion or a misunderstanding with one of her teachers. Just something like that. You're summarizing it in one sentence. And then you can say something like, okay, so the story goes, and then you just go, you know, so she's sitting there, or she's at class.
Okay.
And at the end, you could say, so that's how once Andrea lost her headphones, maybe. So you kind of summarize it again. But it doesn't necessarily have to have this. So organization is more following the order, respecting the chronological order, the sequence of events. And one thing that helps with organization and structure is the use of transitions.
Okay.
Right? Okay, what a shame we deleted that. Let's
in organization is transitions.
Yes, but I'm looking for the story that we were writing down. Like, okay, there you go. This one here. So we can put this as an example. So where is it now? Okay, there. So okay, so you could definitely add some transitions. If it's sequence of events, you can have something like first. I'm actually gonna send you a document right now before I forget your WhatsApp.
Okay.
Where is it? All right, so it's, I already sent it. Hold on. All right, there you go. So transitions are a big thing in the TOEFL, in daily speaking as well, in writing. So it helps you organize it better, and it gives a sense of structure and order to anything that you can write, that you can say any. So if it's sequence of events, maybe you can add some of sequence of events. So first, she's writing an essay for her history class, and the teacher says, okay, they could listen to some music if they want. As long as it's not loud, it doesn't matter, they're a student. So here then is a transition. It's an informal one, but it is a transition. We use a more formal one and say afterwards, the kid's sitting next to her and start playing some very loud music, and the teacher gets mad. Then subsequently, he approaches her, thinking it is her with loud music, or thus. Right? So he gets mad, and that's why, or thus, he approaches her thinking it's her with the loud music. And then you say, however, or nevertheless, it isn't her, right? It isn't her. So you can use many transitions whenever you feel like you're switching to another idea, another part of the story, and it smoothens everything.
Mhm. It changes everything.
It does. So it helps with structure.
Mhm.
In general, it depends on how formal you want to be, because you can use more formal transitions or just informal ones. Depends.
Mhm.
And that helps with organization.
Mhm.
So is it okay?
Yes. Yes.
I think now I can go back. All right. But anyhow, so we said grammar, pronunciation, which means articulation of words, tangibility.
Yes. Intangibility.
Yes. And then we have organization and structure that you also got, I think 24 out of 25 because of the transitions. Those are usually the things they're looking for,
Mhm.
right?
Okay.
So I don't know if you have any questions so far.
No. Besides retell a story, what's next about the speaking part?
Right now, you mean?
Yes.
In this module? I'm sorry? For this class, you
No,
said?
no. No, for the TOEFL test.
Okay, in the TOEFL test, you won't have to retell a story. I mean, it's not part of the speaking.
Oh, okay.
I mean, the thing it's gonna be useful because let's say in the lectures, okay, so you're gonna have to read something first, a topic, and it's usually psychology, biology, whatever. But then the professor in the lecture illustrates that topic. And in order to illustrate the topic, the professor usually tells a story. So it could be useful. You're not gonna have to exactly summarize the story, but it's gonna be part of your entire response.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually something that's why I said, they usually struggle with these tenses and pronouns when retelling the story. Or transitions too, when retelling a story, they could add nouns. Or summarize.
You know what? I think I'm just focusing the TOEFL test, and it's bad. So I want to learn just for me and not for the TOEFL test. It doesn't matter the TOEFL test now. Now I realize that now, because I think it's not just for the TOEFL test. Imagine if I had 100 and I don't know most of the thing that I have to know. So I will forget about the TOEFL test, and I will not ask again about anything about the TOEFL test. Okay.
Okay. All right. And that's I would say that's a good mindset because yeah, I mean, we're gonna be looking at the structure and everything in that group class once you're done with this. But most of it's having these essential skills. So even if you don't think about it, it's gonna be useful. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So yeah, that's part of it. Any questions?
No.
Okay. So we need to prepare you for the oral presentations that we will have.
Yes, please.
Okay.
Are you giving me a topic?
Yes, I actually have a list of possible topics
Oh, okay.
But
I can choose.
yes, you can choose, or if you would prefer to, I don't know, if you want to go with a topic of your own, something that you
No,
feel
no,
interested in. No? Okay.
no, because I don't know.
Okay. And I was thinking, you know, these are the usual topics. So you have life and health, science, business and finance, or education and academic life as well.
Mm,
I was thinking maybe not politics.
yes, no.
uh,
Probably the importance of college.
Importance of college. Okay. Yeah,
Yes, I think.
sure.
I mean,
So then you
mental
can stick with it.
health, mindfulness could be, but I don't know.
You know, at the end of the day, you're going to have to do two. So one for your final oral presentation and one for the middle.
Okay. The ones that
So-
I don't want to do is psychology of advertising.
Okay.
So no. Yes.
Why not though? I was actually thinking that you were going to want that one
Yes, why?
because I mean, your major is business management, right?
Yes, but I don't want that.
Okay.
Mm, it could be. I don't know. No, you choose. I don't want to choose. You choose, please.
Okay. We're gonna do it. Okay, we're gonna do something. So let's do it randomly.
Okay, it's better that
Health,
way.
business.
Just excuse me. Sorry.
Okay. So whatever it is, it'll.
No. No.
Okay, she's lying.
Okay.
Now,
The one that I didn't want to do.
really?
No, it's okay. Technology and technology effects. I like that.
Okay. So technology and its effects.
Uh-huh. So for the final, let's try that game.
This is for the final.
Oh, this is for the final? Okay.
This is for the middle one. I don't know. It's up to you. Would you want?
Are we are we gonna play again for the
Yeah. For the other one.
okay, so let's try again. So
Okay. See what- Okay. I think it's only one. Okay. So it's gonna be the importance of college.
education, yes, the importance of college. Okay.
Okay. So which one would you like it to be for your final?
For my final, technology.
Okay. It's gonna be for the middle. Okay. So
So
let's get
how's
to it.
going to be the structure of this this presentation?
We're gonna see that now. Well, today and tomorrow.
Oh,
So, but we can
so
start.
sorry. Tomorrow is the presentation.
Yeah, but I think we're gonna have to leave it for Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so that we can look at the structure. Although, you
Yes.
know what?
Uh-huh.
The structure you're gonna see, it's exactly like the written structure of an essay. So we're gonna get there again. But
Okay,
it's
yes, okay.
in this case, when you're speaking, you're more allowed to do whatever you want. So you
Yeah.
can
To be
so
more
it's-
informal too, right?
exactly. So you can be informal. You don't have to follow like those steps of okay, having this element and that. You
Mhm.
can be creative and do whatever you want. But we're gonna see. So what you can be doing though is maybe doing some research, okay, for the middle term. So do some research on things that, okay, like for tomorrow, try to at least decide first thing, do you want to, okay, so how do you want your essay, your presentation to be? I was thinking, since we have done the same for the writing, something argumentative, right? So you're trying to persuade someone. Or do you want it to be just informative?
No, it's okay, argumentative.
Okay, so it's gonna match what we did for the writing.
Uh-huh.
So you need to think what you're gonna say about the importance of college, right? Do you think it's important? How important do you think college is for life? Okay, that will be sort of like the question.
For
So
me or in general?
I mean, you can talk about you as an example, or you can talk about only about you or in general.
Okay.
You can use personal examples here. So you can say like, I don't know, if you're saying it's important, then you can give, you know, like tell your story as a personal example. So for instance, for me, it was important. And try to do some research. So if you're gonna say if it's important, then try to do some research on, okay, why? And how are you gonna back up that, right? So if you can look for some, I don't know, articles, some researches, some experiments, anything that proves what you're saying about the importance of college. Just do some research.
Okay.
All right. So here's a TED Talk. We're not going to listen to the entire thing because it's, I think, 11 minutes, but we're going to be listening to some parts, maybe today, tomorrow, and see how she does it. And then we'll talk about the organizations.
Okay.
So imagine a company hires a new employee, best in the business.
Okay.
So imagine a company hires a new employee, best in the business, who's on a multi-million-dollar contract. Now imagine that whenever this employee went to go meet with her team members,
I can hear.
of course being ignored by most people, and of course still getting paid millions of dollars.
Come again?
Sorry?
Did you say something?
Ah, yes, that I couldn't hear the beginning of the video.
The first part, you want me to play that again?
Yes, please.
Okay, sure.
So imagine a company hires a new employee, best in the business, who's on a multi-million-dollar contract. Now imagine that whenever this employee went to go meet with her team members, the appointments were ignored or dismissed, And in the meetings that did happen, she was yelled at or kicked out after a few minutes. So after a while, she just went quietly back to her desk, sat there, none of her skills being put to use, of course being ignored by most people, and of course still getting paid millions of dollars. This hotshot employee can't seem to catch a break is that company's technology. This scenario is not an exaggeration. In my job as a technology advisor, I've seen so many companies make the well-meaning decisions to put huge investments into technology, only to have the benefits fail to live up to the expectation. Projects are canceled or deliver things that are never used. That's like billions of dollars just being wasted each year. So why is this? Well, from what I've seen, the expectation from the top management is high, but not unreasonable about the benefits from the technology. They expect people will use them, it will create time savings, and
It could have.
genuinely better at their jobs. But the reality is that the people on the front line who are supposed to be using these softwares and tools, they're skeptical or even afraid. We postpone the online trainings, we don't bother to learn the shortcuts, and we get frustrated at the number of tools we have to remember.
Sorry, it could have a lot.
Really? Yeah. I don't see. Maybe. Why?
Sorry, it's probably my internet. I don't know.
Is it?
I don't know.
Did you get to hear anything? Understand anything?
Yeah, I mean, I hear, but some parts is like it stopped and then start, and I didn't hear the middle of the sentence.
Oh, okay.
But I hear most.
Okay. Although, I think she's getting there. Right now she's in the most important part. So let's play this part again. And anyhow, we'll listen again tomorrow.
We postpone the online trainings, we don't bother to learn the shortcuts, and we get frustrated at the number of tools we have to remember how to log into and use, right? And that frustration, that guilt, is racking up the more that technology is inserting itself into our daily working lives, which is a lot. Brookings says that 70% of jobs today in the US require at least mid-level digital skills. So basically, to work these days, you need to be able to work with technology. But from what I've seen, we are not approaching this with the right mindset. So here's the idea that I've been toying with. What if we treated technology like a team member? So I've been running my own personal experiment about this. I've spoken to people from all different industries about.
So I think up until there, maybe a bit more, but that was the most important part of the introduction of her presentation. So anything interesting that you noticed? What was it about? What is she talking about?
I'm not sure. I mean, at the beginning, I thought that she was talking about when someone when a company hires an employee, and the employees are disagree about that decision and make, I don't know, they do a lot of things to make the new member uncomfortable. So I don't know. That's
right.
Yes.
You're completely right. So at the beginning, she provides that situation.
Why the contract? I mean, they're very jealous, I think. When someone enter
new, the elders are jealous. So I think it's that. And because probably he's young and he knows most on he knows most because of the age of he born. Because when some companies hire a young person, it's because he has a different view of the things, you know.
That's right, yeah. Okay, so that's true. Everything you said is completely true. That's the first situation, right? The first situation.
Mm-hmm.
She kind of, at first, the first thing she does is she presents this hypothetical situation, wouldn't you say? Because she says, now imagine. a company.
Yes.
Now it was about, as you described it,
Mm-hmm.
about this new employee that is a multi-million contract and everybody's jealous of her and they exclude her basically. You know, she's being paid and everything, but she doesn't participate in the meetings. She doesn't have any use in the company because she's been excluded.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not being used. Her potential is not being used.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but what does she say next? What else?
Wow. I think that I'm jumping to the end when she started talking about technology and how we can be part of technology and it can help us to improve.
Okay. So
So
she's
the middle, I don't remember well.
okay. So what's her idea? At the end, she summarizes her idea. She even presented in some PowerPoint slides, I think. Oh.
So here's the idea that I've been toying with. What if we treated technology like a team member? So I've been running my own
Okay, so what's her idea?
To use technology and to show the employees that technology is not bad. It's good for the company. And it's not going to I mean, fire, but not in that way.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what do you mean it's not going to fire?
No, but I mean, most people, when companies use technology and like in the picture, they automatize, I don't know how to say, automatizan todo.
Okay, you could say they make everything mechanic, maybe?
Yes, they make everything mechanical and then they don't need humans. So maybe people are worried about it, about their jobs.
I see your point. Yeah, that's true. So yeah, so that's why maybe other employees tend to see technology as some sort of competition and they're going to get fired, lose their jobs, and they're going to be replaced by technology.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. But okay, that's one thing that's true. And yeah, and I'm not sure if that's exactly what she says, but I think it has to do with her point. You know, when you're analyzing something, try not to think of what you know. Try just to think of what the person says.
Okay.
Okay, but that is true. So her idea is to treat technology as a team member, I think. Huh? Team member. Okay. So that is her thesis statement.
Mm-hmm.
He's basically trying to say throughout the whole presentation that people or companies should treat technology like a team member. So they should
So
treat.
the first part when she say, I imagine that we hire a new person with about a multi-million contract. This is a hook.
That's the hook, yeah.
Okay.
Why do you think she does that? I mean, what does that mean? Is she really talking about a person?
To capture the attention.
Yeah. But what does she mean? Is this really a person, this employee?
No.
All right. It's an analogy. This is called an
Yes.
analogy or maybe a metaphor. But she's trying to compare this hypothetical situation to the real thing that she wants to portray, which is how technology is mistreated, is unused, and the potential of technology is not being used by companies. So they buy this for millions of dollars and they don't use it, right? And that's what she wants to show with this situation, with this analogy, right?
Oh, yeah, no, it's clear, everything.
Because she says, now that employee is technology. Maybe you missed that part, but she says that.
Yes. Now
So,
it's clear.
yeah, right? Makes more sense.
Yes.
So
So
she,
yeah, most companies buy programs, softwares to help, but the employees are, I mean, they don't like it. They don't want to learn how to use. So yeah, I think it's true.
so yeah. And yeah, and exactly that's what she says. So she says, even though the technology is there, they are skeptical. So they don't want to learn, they don't want to go through the process of adapting to this technology. So yeah.
It's because people don't like change.
Yeah.
So that's why they don't
like changes.
accept.
Yeah, that's true. So there are actually interesting ideas on that, interesting books as well. So yeah, people don't like change. And that's what she's saying here, right? She's saying, as you can see, that's her intro, right? She says, she calls the in this case, the audience attention. Then he raises the problem. So the problem is that companies do not use technology like they should. And then he presents her thesis statement or her suggestion on what they should do. That's the intro there. And as you can see, it's kind of the same as in a writing text, right? As in an essay.
Yes.
So we're gonna see tomorrow more in depth how it works.
So because this is the first part.
And yeah. Yes. She has a long. You like her?
No, I'm no like her, but TED.
TED Talk. Okay, so yeah. You know, that's a really good thing to practice listening. It's a good tool. And yeah, they have really interesting stuff. I usually, when I have some time, I watch TED Talks as well.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you an aside. Hold on. Okay. Although I'm probably gonna send it to you through WhatsApp. Because I think it's gonna be a listening activity, just listening activity with some questions.
Correct. Okay. Oh, can I write the page because I like this game.
Use one here?
Okay. Yes. Can you send me, please?
Yes, of course. I use it with kids. Saturdays I give class to kids. So I teach. Yeah, and I use them with them. Okay. So, all right. So then, do you have any questions before we go?
No, I don't have. Where did you send? Oh, okay. Here. Did you send me what you want me to send to WhatsApp? Because you said I'm going to send you something at the beginning of the class, and then
Oh, yeah, I
you
did.
didn't send.
I think
Okay.
it was a list of transitions.
Okay.
I did send you, yeah.
Oh. Mm. Sorry.
Okay.
Sir.
Yep, the survey. I'm sending it. There you go.
Mm. Uh, okay.
Okay. So thank you. See you tomorrow.
Can you share to me this document too, please?
Of course, which one?
This one. The one that we talked today.
This one here?
No, the other one that, I mean, I took note, but yes, this part, yes. No.
The rubric for the speaking?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, of course. I'll send it to you. Okay, maybe I can do it right here. Right, there you go.
Okay, thank you. Sorry, I'm sending you.
Yeah, I just got it. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Andrea.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Have a nice night.
Thanks, you too.